spring? How has this transfer class just begun to acclimate with this roster and this group?
The transfer guys, they've been great. Just no different than the mid-years coming in. They're all new. It's, no matter where they come from. I always say they're all transfers from somewhere. They're coming from somewhere. They're coming from high school. They're coming from wherever. They're all new. So it's process any different. It's been great. They're, we're as I've said many times. I know everybody thinks we're against the portal around here, but we've used the portal 3 out of the last 4 years. So we use it when we have to. It's a great tool. It's a great opportunity, and we didn't have a choice last year, and so we really didn't. So we had an opportunity to go get Will. Our process, if we use the portal, it's not any different than signing a kid out of high school. It's the same process. First of all, what's the need? What's the fit? Those type of things. And Will was a great fit, a great need for us. We really were not going to sign a linebacker. We were going to wait till May. We knew we needed to add a spot there, but we really wanted to wait till May to do that, and that was our intent. Because going to 105, we were moving that number to 9. That was kind of our internal number, if you will. But we really wanted to kind of get through the spring and kind of see, what happened. And then Jeremiah popped up, and that was, again, I've known him since high school, so it's a great fit. I think there's a ton of potential with this kid, and I'm super excited. Know him well, and then obviously we had 2 receivers that left after recruiting, right, and moved on to different places that were backup type guys for us, and so we needed to go find somebody, and I wanted a big, tall kid. We found him, and Tristan's a great fit for us. So those guys, no different than. We wanted a great left tackle. We went and got Braden Jacobs. So it's no different. The process is the same, and we got what we needed. But they've all been a really good group. And again, it's exciting because they're all here. Like, everybody's here except 3 guys. And unless you have some guys leaving the spring portal or something, and you have to respond to that, our team is here. So it's been good. But those guys have really acclimated well.
On signing day, you called Gideon Davidson. You thought he was the best running back in last year's class. Just your initial observations after you've seen him for a few weeks here.
Well, he jumped 40 inches. There ain't many people on the planet that's got a 40-inch vertical. That's pretty freaky. The guy's gifted, and he's just an amazing human being. I mean, most of y'all do follow recruiting, you probably had a conversation with him. I mean, he's unique. He's just unique. He's not a guy that sits around and waits to be led. He leads. I mean, he's a leader. He don't know anything. I mean, he's going to get out there and he's going to be spinning around just like everybody. This is still a high school kid rolling in here, but he's just different. And again, I think he was the best high school kid out there, in totality, from my evaluation. When I'm talking about the total package, I think this kid is special. But that was high school. He's got to start right back at the bottom and go prove it. But he's pretty dang talented.
What's the learning curve for the defensive staff as they sort of learn the language under Coach Allen? Is it similar to when Garrett took over?
Oh, it's easy. I mean, these guys are all pros. I mean, these are football people. The hard part is some of it carries over from a terminology standpoint. Scheme is scheme. They all know the scheme. It's the biggest thing is just we'll call something different. Like, what do we call our man coverage concepts? What do we call our cover 2 concepts? What do we call our twists and our games? What do we call our hot pressures? What do we call our max blitz pressures? What do we call those type of things? That's the biggest thing. Just, what do we call when the back moves over here? Like, what's the term for that? So you all speak the same language. That's the type of stuff but that's what they've been doing for however many weeks. So, but it's fun. I mean, a lot of it, again, it's the same. It carries over. Like football people offensively, if you go, oh, that's a power, that's a counter. Oh, that's 4 verts. Oh, that's inside zone. That's great, but nobody calls it that. Everybody has terms, so you have to just learn those things. So that's always a part of it. But from learning curve standpoint, I mean, that's a bunch of good football coaches in that room.
Going back to Kevin Kelly, in today's college football, the way everything is going, how important is it to have somebody like that in that position? And then somebody that's like his caliber, that you can say, okay, he can just go do his job and don't have to worry
Yeah,
about
I mean, this guy's been a decision maker in the highest level. I mean, he's again, unbelievable track record, but just another same thing, great fit. He really loves Clemson. He's always he's seen everybody practice. He's been in every program for years and years and years, and he really wanted to be at Clemson. And how he articulated that was pretty cool to me. Because again, this guy's been everywhere. He's heard it all, seen it all, and he really believes in who we are. My big thing, just like last year, they deregulated who can coach, right? Like they let everybody coach now. Well, I believe at some point they're not going to let everybody go recruit, but at some point they're going to probably deregulate it to where who cares who the 10 are? Like, why does it matter, right? Like right now it's me and the position coach, the lead coach has to go do it. But eventually I think that will change. And so, until that does, though, I want to make our process even better. But at some point that's going to happen, and he'll be able to, I mean, that's what he's done forever. So how you do that scouting and how you gather the type of information that you need is that's a critical process. So, I mean, we've won here a long time. Listen, we've been really good. I mean, it's not like, I mean, we've won here not because we've out-recruited everybody. When have we ever had a number one recruiting class? Y'all that follow, what have we, in my career, we're probably somewhere in the teens on average. Isn't that about right? That's probably about right. But we're the second winningest team in the country the last 16 years. All right, and we've been to 7 playoffs in 10 years. We've won 8 conference championships in 10 years. We've had, the second. Now I'm as a head coach, I got the most draft picks, the most first-round picks in the last however long. Now that Coach Saban's retired, since I've been a head coach, so we've never just out-recruited everybody. But what we've done really well is we've evaluated well, we've developed well, and we've retained well, and that's why we've won. But as things have grown and the world has changed a little bit, I just really feel like Kevin can even make us better. I really do. But the main thing is I think with probably a new governance structure coming down the road and probably some deregulation, to where you can put whatever 10 on the road, that'll probably be something we'll be well positioned for if and when that happens. And then again, great for Jordan. I mean, really going to be great for Jordan. He's been in a lot of rooms in his years, and he's just got a level of experience that'll be great for everybody in the building.
Are you basically saying you'll hire a scouting department?
We already have that. No, we've got that. We got it now. We just, they're all here. We have everybody, but somewhere that's got to be managed, right? But at some point, instead of sending Garrett Riley out on a Friday night, I could send Taj Boyd out, or I could send Kevin Kelly out, or I could send Lorenzo Ward out, or I could send Chanel Valentine out. Why does it matter? It's not a different expense, right? 10 is 10, okay? 10 hotels, 10 cars, it don't change, So at some point, I think we'll get to that, and I think that's important to have somebody that can really manage that, and that's what he's done for years and years and years at a much higher level than right here. He's done it at the professional level.
With the spring games, it's been an issue where some programs are canceling them because of the fears of tampering, I guess. Did you guys ever have any discussions about canceling?
No, we're going to have a spring game. And I hope we can have some type of fan day with it as well. I hope. I don't know. We'll see. But, listen, whether you have a spring game or not, it's going to be tampering. Ain't nobody going to go look at the spring game and go, oh, yeah, boy, they got PFF. That's called PFF. They got everything on everybody already. So, there's canceling the spring game ain't going to stop tampering. We're going to need a lot more help than that to stop tampering. And hopefully at some point that'll happen. But, I just think, again, when you evaluate things, you like for us, for example, you look at your career snaps, your career offense, defensive snaps, And, you know, Blake Miller's probably top of that list for us. You know, you look at those guys that have played a ton of snaps. Do I really need to see Blake play live this spring? No. He needs to get some work, right? He'll get a lot of work, but you'll limit his live work. He doesn't need a lot of live work. But you know who does? All them other dudes, Mason Wade, Braden Jacobs, Easton Ware, you know, Ronan. Those guys need work. You don't get better at football if you don't play football. And again, now if you told me that we could have 2 or 3 preseason games in the fall, I'd probably have a different approach to the spring. But we don't get that, right? There's a reason why the NFL, they got OTAs and all that, but they also got 4 preseason games to play football, to figure their team out, to evaluate. We don't get that. We play LSU. Right? So you know, to me, I look at our scrimmage opportunities as an opportunity to expose your guys, teach them. Like, I don't know how you get better. So, I mean, again, does Antonio Williams need to get tackled? No. Guys played a lot of ball, right? But I got some guys that need to practice. We got a lot of guys on our team that haven't played many snaps. So they shouldn't be tired. Well, they tired from? What the heck they do? They need to play football, right? Like, they need to go play football. We got a lot of those guys. And, man, I need to create pressure on CV. Like, CV needs to take our quarterbacks don't get hit anyway. Like, it doesn't matter if I run Cade out there for a series or 2 or not. Who cares? I don't care. CV needs pressure on him. Well, when do we get that? If we don't ever create any type of competitive environment. You know, like Braden Jacobs, he's not going to learn how to pull on the counter in shorts. So it's not fair to him to just run him out there and go block. Go get that guy at LSU. Like, I just think you have to, you know, you got to create opportunities for guys to get better. So you're smart with that, but I mean, you know, everybody's got to make their own decisions. But I hope we can have a bunch of fans. That's the other thing. When else do we get a chance to create any type of environment that feels like a game for some of these young guys? Like, how cool is it for Easton Ware to have to go out there and feel a little putter in his heart, right? As opposed to the first time he feels that is, you know, Clemson LSU. So, I mean, it's to each his own. I mean, whatever. But we've been in a bunch of games for a long time around here, and we've been smart about how we go about things. But and we continue to do that. Like I said, there's some guys that they won't get a lot of live work. They'll get the work they need to improve, but they won't get a lot of live work. And then you got a lot of other guys, they need all they can get. Like Adam Randall, for example, has played a lot of snaps as a receiver, but he ain't played a running back. So, you know, we got to find out right now if he's going to be able to, you know, do what we think he can do.
Some schools are doing spring